basically exactly what you said. It's nice here as well. There's a couple other benefits of the BKB against the Disruptor and so on, but it'll definitely be less than ideal. Either way, let's get into it. We already do see some TPs coming out from Alliance, but up on Vega, and, had to restart Dota. Sorry about this, folks. Let me fix one little thing here.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that, yeah, no one plays the mid role for Vega, but it's just a better case and scenario for the Juggernaut to go mid. And apparently FN doesn't play Huskar, because I haven't really seen them play the hero, but that's why FN is going to be handling your mid jug here.
They switch it up also on Vega. I feel like they're one of the teams that had been experimenting. FN had actually been in the... There was that month where FN played off laner or mid or safe laner. He kind of tried every single one. And so I think that for Vega, they're a bit more comfortable swapping roles around than other teams.
So, just going to do...
Yeah, introductions. We've got Mag playing up that Batrider. Earth Spirit going to be solo rolling around on him. FN being played, playing the Juggernaut. Sioma on the Oracle for once, not Disruptor. And last but not least, we've got no one on the Huskar.
Alrighty, then we've got... on the side of Alliance boys, Ake playing the Disruptor, Loda handling the Slark, S4 playing the Brewmaster, Admiral Bulldog playing his signature Beastmaster, and last but not least,
we actually have an engagement. The roll going to go wide. That Mag trying to get in range of sticky napalm, but not looking like too much is happening there. Ake has already thrown out the Thunder Strike, and Loda getting some damage out. He doesn't have pounds for another 15 seconds. Can they slow down Solo enough? Here comes the spin on the Loda, the roll in as well. One more hit, he'll get the first blood. Loda may go down here too, but he did get the first kill, and look at it. We've got 5v5 in mid. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel good. EGM playing the Disruptor. A Dazzle. Alright, so there you go. There's your introduction, boys. And welcome to the game. Like you said, it's a bloodbath. That's how we like to see, and it's not stopped.
Yeah, Sioma gonna take a little bit of damage. Immediately just purges off that slow. Now, for EGM, picked up that early point in Poison Touch because of that fight, so we'll see if that pays off or ends up fighting him in the backside later on in the game. For now, he's hanging out mid, and actually... pretty much, we do see this all the time, but Admiral Bulldog already in the jungle.
This game, 100% you start in the jungle, especially against a Huskar. Like, there's absolutely no way you can even think about going into that off lane. And the supports can't go either to even leech EXP. So you just have to give that up, maybe stack the jungle, or just zone out this Batrider, because what they're doing for Vega, they're winning basically all three lanes right now at the beginning of the game because of their setup.
Do you think that for Alliance it's important to apply some pressure to that bottom lane to force the Earth Spirit to stay there and be unable to rotate on their mid? Oh, as Ryu coughs out.
Sorry, I'm dying, guys. Well, I think it's nice that they do just put pressure on Mag here.
Speaking of pressure, that's a little bit of prejudice. Loda actually even getting in an auto attack there. So you were saying.
I think it's nice just to keep getting pressure. You also just, for Disruptor, you have to constantly pull in this lane and get levels. Like, the fastest level 6, it will help out your team fight a lot in these situations. So Ake, he really just wants to sit back and pull. EGM is like that person that needs to be, he always has to have a TP ready for those ganks, right? Solo is going to be playing very aggressive around the map. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has the haste for there's a boulder roll here as well for Solo, so the rest of his team's coming in, and Solo will just walk it off. Hasten away.
That's had 8 stick charges to work with Ake. So there was like no way he was gonna die.
And Solo's just gonna use the very tail end of that haste rune to get back over to the safety near Mag. We haven't touched on mid. Obviously, not a matchup we see as much. Brewmaster was buffed quite a bit last patch, and then I think the patch before as well, he got some changes in the damage type that were ultimately a plus. How does he fare up against Juggernaut?
I think you can't. For this lane, I think Juggernaut's still going to come out ahead.
Actually,
but
we've got a little bit of action at bottom. It looks like Loda will get a kill, but it's already lost one for this. And now Loda falling. Man, can he get the triple pretty much? We'll see. Ake has 4 stacks of sticky napalm, and Mag will decide to back on out.
Good rotation coming in. It looks like they set up with the Batrider, and that's kind of what you want happening for Vega. Like you want to have all 3 heroes kind of converge on Solo, And then that's right when you're getting all what you need from Mag. Like, nobody's focusing him. He's getting, you know, 4 or 5 stickies up, also having the Firefly. So really good play there from Vega, just applying pressure.
In mid, it looks like the CS a little bit in favor of S4. He does, of course, have that Drunken Haze to try to stop FN from CSing as well, but doesn't always work out. So taking a look, yeah, they both have wards up pretty much right next to each other, so they have a good idea of what's going down here.
Yeah, it's a situation where the Drunken Haze will help out a lot for helping FN maybe miss some CS, but he also has a Quelling Blade now. He's also bottle crowing too, very efficient. The thing is with Juggernaut in the mid lane, you just spin, get all the creeps, and then S4 is like, well, I normally can't get runes, but because of where the creep equilibrium was, S4 did get that rune, and he has an arcane rune. He should be level 6 when he has this too, and that means that you really want to fight early for S4. So he's probably going to TP somewhere around, you know, the 5.5 minute mark and put some pressure somewhere.
Yeah, and if he can make it happen, it looks like bottom will probably end up being where he goes, although they could try to contest the Husker. That would call for more rotation. So, but we haven't, he's obviously farming just fine, and Oracle as well, doing some pulls to make sure that there's experience for everyone. So no one going to be working very quickly into an Armlet, maybe going for a Helm first. Probably that Armlet.
Yeah, you go, I think standard is Armlet, Helm of the Dominator, and then some kind of evasion. It depends if you need to have either a Solar Crest or you either want to have a Solar Crest Omni. Okay, so because Creep Wraith, but it's one of those situations where Solar Crest helps out a lot because of the Beastmaster, and he's going to want to get those Necro books up. Those minions also against Slark could help out a lot for the additional armor, but he also might want to have like a Heaven's Halberd too for disarming the Slark in team fights.
Yeah, it's actually really flexible. Husker, there's some flexibility there. It's also kind of funny. It used to be something that was picked up frequently in South America, and often those players would forgo boots entirely. They wouldn't get brown boots for a really long time. And especially when you get this uncontested lane, because as you mentioned, the offlaner unable to go up there, you sometimes see no boots for the Husker until quite late into the game. In bottom, Mag actually taking a lot of harass, getting glimpsed back here. Loda gonna have the pounce immediately. Mag in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack will take him down. Solo in that kinetic field, but here comes FN. He has the Omni Slash, but with only 3 slashes at level 1, it's underwhelming, and he just has to TP back to mid.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A good situation for them to try and go and bat. That's where the only lane really Alliance can kill right now, and they're punishing Mag. But still at the same time, he's gotten 15 CS, he's up to level 5, so not everything's going bad for Vega. I think they're in a good position. They also dodged that smoke gank from Bulldog, his first 6, and they also haven't used the Panda Split yet. So all things considered, Vega are doing a really good job.
Yeah, I will be really interested to see where S4 tries to go. Bulldog did end up coming up to top lane after finishing off some jungling, and actually Dazzle goes down again. There is a roll. They're coming towards Arcade. The Firefly's still active, but Mag is taking a lot of damage here. They actually glimpsed it back. I feel like a little miss there because Loda was having the Dark Packs, but here it is. Here's the TP top. We're gonna see S4 and Admiral Bulldog Primal Roar out onto no one. Gonna give him the ground pound and just auto attack him down.
Those crits to the face, slapping him back to the fountain. And that's what happens when you don't really have your Oracle behind. Sioma, he TP to the bottom lane. Also doesn't have level 6 just yet, and yeah, Huskar can just be bursted down pretty easily there.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about these supports just because of the nature of the lanes. We're seeing some really good levels coming out here, interestingly enough. The Dazzle and the Oracle both level 5 already, and even the Earth Spirit, who has, obviously he's been much more static in the bottom lane, but it's really nice to see him level 4 at the 8-minute mark. Good for an Earth Spirit.
Feels good.
Could be worse, is what we're saying. We've seen some of those level 2 around this time of the game because of how much they try to rotate. So,
but because S4 didn't use his ultimate, they're still able to pressure around the map, and that means that Vega still can't take any objectives. And I think what's going to happen in the next like 5 minutes is going to be Alliance potentially winning a team fight, but then right afterwards, Vega just go straight for Roche with Huskar and Jug. So Alliance, they need to make sure that they win a team fight and they get at least 1, if not 2 towers from their objectives afterwards.
Speaking of looking, yeah, Alliance actually just make sure
they can't do Roche
vision.
themselves at all, yeah.
Yeah, but what it could be setting up for the siege bottom. Could be that they're just going to continue to pressure mid and want to be aware of those rotations. As you mentioned, Brewmaster still has not used that primal split, and with EGM hanging around in mid, maybe time to use it to siege the tower or just use the threat of it to get some more damage there.
It's really hard for Alliance to get anything done right now in their lanes because they need Disruptor level 6 really, and they also need Bulldog to start, you know, going around the map getting pickoffs with his roar. But if that's happening, they're kind of saying, oh yeah, we're actually missing on the map for Alliance, and that'll let Vega know. So their movements should be obvious because it's daytime. They don't have any deep vision right now for Vega in the enemy jungle. They kind of have defensive wards, which I'm not a fan of. It would be nice if Vega's supports just, you know, smoke into the enemy jungle, put some good wards down to see if Beastmaster's farming or Slark's farming in the jungle. So that could be a little bit better for Vega's play.
Yeah, there's a lot of vision actually coming up for Alliance in this bottom rune spot, something they clearly find to be really valuable. So just interested if, as you said, it's hard for them to take Roche on, so a little bit surprised, but they're just very aware that Huskar could be up to his tricks. Mag actually has to eat the weave, going to just Firefly up to the ledge, but they should have a glimpse here. Mag brought back, going to be caught in the kinetic field. There is Voda going for it. Do they have the damage here? Yes, they do. Managed to bring him down, and Mag, he started out with a really nice triple kill, now having a really difficult time.
That's very unfortunate. I think if he had used Flame Break, it could have separated him and Slark, and then he could have TP'd, but it would have been very close to whether or not he would have still died. So it's still worth the attempt to Flame Break people back and then go back to the fight. That's still space now for Vega to get that top tower, but it's also time for S4 to get his Blink Dagger soon. So this is going to be a good timing window for Alliance. They have all the key items that they really need to start fighting. Level 6, as we talked about. He almost got Shadow Blade on Slark. So good timings for Alliance, and then Vega at the other side. Yeah, they're still on their way. It looks like Batrider's going to go for that drums build that we're kind of accustomed nowadays.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying, we see one on Huskar. I'm guessing it's just a casual windlace, but how the folks are picking those up. He could also build drums. It's not as popular on the carries anymore, but just picking up one of those, making sure that you can move fast enough to catch up to people, get in range of that life break, although pretty big. So they're going to go siege the bottom tower now. As we saw, they can make quick work of it, especially with Earth Spirit coming down as well to make sure that nothing else goes wrong. And do they spot these rotations? Vega, they don't have vision, but they have to know that something's probably coming their way. It's going to be all 4 smoked up heroes. Will we get to see the first split of the game?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, here we go. There is the primal split. They are going to primal roar now onto Huskar. He's been brought down quickly. Oracle thrown up in the air so that there will be no false promise. And Mag, they managed to bring him down. Juggernaut's here, but he doesn't have mana for that ultimate. Did he already use it? And Aki will be saved by the shallow grave. FN not quite able to bring him down, and a beautiful rock kick on through by Solo. Manages to get a kill before he explodes in that false promise. FN still trying to run away. Phase boots up in 2. Can Bulldog catch up? He has no points in those axes, of course, because he was jungling. Now FN, oh, he drops the healing ward. Bulldog could drop a board, try to get the slow going, but there's the spin, and should be the end of that case.
Really good engagement there for Alliance. Pretty much winning the team fight by cycloning up the Oracle, and that's just what happens when Sioma, he's backing off there, and it's a situation where you also got separation with Ake's good place, Kinetic Field, and Static Storm, so there was just like almost no way EGM's going to get picked off in the bottom lane. And this is the thing, Vega, with the cooldowns that Alliance have, they should pressure. I like them going for this tier 1 tower, but I hope they still go back for Roche. I don't know. They have a good timing window here. Still, potentially go for it.
And they can get it really fast with the healing ward, with the Huskar, especially if they did end up picking up the medallion, but of course that's hard to say right now.
Most of the damage is going to come from the burning spears on the Roche, so it's still very good, but it looks like they're kind of thinking about it.
I can't tell if I'm sleepy or if the net worth graph is really so on track. It just feels like they're never this jumpy. Look at it. Either way, here they go. They're going for it. Of course, Alliance have full vision of this. There's a ward right there. Vega maybe saw a glimpse of them in mid. It's hard to tell since it's nighttime, so they may actually have no idea.
They have a weave on 4 right here.
Oh god.
This is so bad.
The boars are coming in to scout. Vega, they know that they've been seen up. In the meantime, they kill up the Earth Spirit, but you need to get over to the pit. EGM, he's not going to drop the weave. They managed to pick up the Aegis onto Husker, and suddenly EGM realizing he would much rather be invisible. There is the kinetic field static storm, but they don't really catch enough in it. I feel like going on to solo a mistake there.
Yeah, I think roaring the ES there is probably not the play. You have vision, you have the potential to scout, you just immediately go to Roche. And they could have contested too. Without having split there, they still could have contested because they had a 4-man weave, and you cannot underestimate weave in these team fights, especially when you hit it on 4, you have the setup, you have the vision. I think it's just a big I don't even know if it's a big misplay coming in from Alliance, but it is definitely a small one there. And they can still fight back. They have the ultimates online. But fighting into an Aegis Huskar, now they have to approach things differently.
Yeah, it might be the best bet to avoid fights for a little while. They can also try to find some pickups, but we'll have to see if Vega end up splitting, since they do know that they're facing into a Brewmaster who would love to blink in, give the thunderclap, and then split. Get a pick off if he can. So Vega may just use the buddy system. We haven't talked about Batrider too much. It's really interesting. He does have the drums. I've seen a lot more folks prefer to rush the blink, but I guess Mag with those early deaths just deciding it would be better to get up a little bit more health.
I think Moon Meander, as he decides to go for it, also Moo. A lot of the Western players love going this. I think some of the Chinese players do too.
Mag, he will be able to TP away here, but Loda showing off the power of that Shadow Blade.
I think it first originated with Wings. Like, I think Wing, the offlane player for Wings, he pioneered this build, and so it's.
What are the benefits over the Blink Dagger? Just the health and the speed, or are there other things?
You get a lot of health, yeah, it's stats, and then you get a lot of speed. So it's kind of like the Mask of Madness effect of old Batriders that Bone 7 used to pioneer, but it's more so of team play. You get the drums, you get more stats, and it's just team play oriented.
Yeah, I really agree with that. It was hard. Oh, speaking of things that are hard, we got Admiral Bulldog maybe in a little bit of trouble. The Donger himself, he is going to throw out the Primal Roar and rip right on through Mag. There will be no lasso there. The Magnetized Solo, he refreshes it, but Bulldog is a tanky strength hero, and he is just going to get out. That is ridiculous. He tries to throw a rock on over, but no such luck. That was not... Oh, we have another engagement over on the side here. S4, okay, he's wandering away. I mean,
that's just bad play. Straight up bad play from Solo. Like, he did cost the Batrider to die there. Very unfortunate, because he missed the roll-in, he missed the kick, and then he didn't silence in time. So he basically whiffed 3 spells on the Earth Spirit there. Unfortunate for Mag, but we got a Hunter. That's negative armor.
Oh, look at that. Sioma does manage to get off the false promise. Will there be some backup? Loader doesn't want to get Omni slashed here. He has to be careful if he keeps coming for this, but never mind. Sioma will fall. FN does not want to be in this neighborhood. It's going to be a bit difficult catching up to Solo, so he should be able to roll away.
Good time spin out there from FN. It's going to take the creep wave, cut it a bit.
What do you want to see up next for him? He didn't decide to go for... We've been seeing a bunch of different Juggernaut builds. He didn't go for the Vanguard. He didn't go for the Battle Fury. He, of course, building that Manta first. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's the right build for this game?
Yeah, I think in most Juggernaut games, I think Manta style is the best in most situations. Because, one, in this game, it's better to have it because you can dodge glimpse, but you don't really need that for that purpose. If you're perfect, you still have Blade Fury to work with for that. but you can also take off Drunken Haze. You can dodge the roar coming in from Beastmaster if you just Manta dodge that too. So, and then you could just Omni Slash immediately afterwards. It's just a really good item to have for all these cute, unique plays. It also helps for split pushing and farming. Obviously, the stats are very good. So I think it's the better item than going like Sange and Yasha. And you can't go Battle Fury in most games. You can go as a second item, but your first item needs to help contribute to the team fights. And since the drums nerf, I think you have to go for either the Sange and Yasha or the Manta.
Well, for Vega, they're gonna, speaking of drums, gonna use theirs maybe in a second here. No, they're not gonna bother to pop it for the bonus attack speed. They will just take this tower down. Pushing very fast, but of course they are also up against Admiral Bulldog, who has the Inner Beast and the Necronomicon units, but it is Alliance who blinks first. They've set back their support.
Yeah, they don't have Necro 3s for this. This could be very bad for Alliance. No jokes. Even though they don't have
the blink though, you were gonna say, even though they don't have
Aegis. Like this is looking kind of bad for Alliance.
Oh my goodness, that courier is terribly distracting. FN just spinning on the tower to get a little bit of extra damage. And
Look over, Bulldog's about to get a tower though.
Oh, was he? Oh, there's the glimpse backwards into the static storm. FN in a lot of trouble. Perfectly placed here. A boulder kick on through, trying to save his life, but that false promise coming out just at the right time. Sioma, Loda wanting to punish him for that business, so he will go down, but FN healed all the way back up, but no one caught in the fray. This Husker without an Aegis, he is going to go down. They throw up Solo, get in front of him, so he will be unable to roll away. He throws out the mags, but it is not enough.
Yep, that's Vega heavily committing there, and that's the play that we just talked about where he had his Blade Fury on cooldown and he had the chance to Manta dodge, but he mistimed it by a second. And if you mistime it, you just get punished like that. So very unfortunate. FN had a chance to not get glimpse back, but it just didn't happen, and that's the outcome of that team fight. And with that, I mean, that's very good for Alliance. They almost got the tier 3 in the mid. Whereas like they got only half the damage on it for Vegas on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm really liking, I mean obviously as you said, it's Bulldog and a Beast Monster. This is something of a signature hero of his. Loda on the Sloth. It's very comfortable, and of course S4 on the Broom Monster. Very comfortable pick for them, but they're executing incredibly well. Other than the Roche fight, that did seem to be a little off. They're playing very cleanly.
Yeah, they don't need to risk at times. Like, that's the thing. The Lions don't need to risk team fights when they don't have split. So they just kind of want to play keep away. Because there's not that many things to stop the split besides Batrider Blink. And because, as we talked about, he went for the drums. And the thing with Batrider is you need 2 items. Drums and Blink is not the combo. It's Blink and Force Staff to really set it up. So you're still going to need that, and you need a BKB this game. You can't get glimpse back, or you can't get single target or singled out. So there's a lot of item progression that Mag needs to have to be able to stay in these team fights.
And it does feel like eventually he's going to need either a Linken's or a Lotus Orb to deal with a lot of the spells coming out of the Brewmaster, the Primal Roar, and so on. It's just not an easy game on Vega as things progress for Alliance. Checking out that network chart, we'll see that Alliance is ahead by a good margin at the 22-minute marks, and the real big thing is they're further ahead on experience, which is kind of unusual because they have been grouping up and pushing some.
Yeah, but still, it's a very close game right now. It's definitely in Alliance favor a little bit. I think it tips the edge over to them to like 65% now, maybe 70, with Loda having a Silver Edge. That's going to completely cripple Huskar with his Berserker's Blood, and you're going to have to find ways to keep this Huskar alive once that's down. And then the Oracle, sure, the Oracle is going to be able to save him, but the Huskar is still going to die at the end of team fights every single time, and you don't want that to happen. But luckily enough, they still have the Juggernaut as a secondary carry, so if this keeps going later and later, they still do have a chance to take this.
Yeah, Juggernaut working on that refusal, so doesn't want to let folks escape. I really like what you mentioned about problems with Huskar. Obviously, when Silver Edge came out as an item, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, goodbye, Huskar. And it's something where I really do worry. I like that they went for Huskar, We were talking about how cool how it could come out in the draft, but I'm just not sure that it's the right hero, especially with the way it is, the way the hero is working right now.
It's just so they're on a timing window this game, and the hero can work in situations, but they've, like you talked about earlier, Mag's kind of fed over a little bit of the kills, some not even his fault, as we've kind of seen throughout this game. But when you keep feeding over and over these kills with Batrider in this game, because he's 4-4 right now, you're slowing down your mid-game progression. Like, he has to be going around the map, getting pick-offs, and trying to set up his team for success. They need to get a pick-off and to tower, pick-off to Roche, and that's just how they have to play in their Vega lineup that they have.
They actually have Mag pick up a gem before he gets that 4-star. This will be really nice. Obviously, it'll help them. D-ward is the major thing, but it's a little bit scary to have it without the 4-star sometimes. It feels like you can just get yourself into troublesome positions. And again, if you're initiating without the 4-star with a gem, there are good amounts of times you'll be losing it into this alliance lineup.
But I think it's a necessity that they need to take. They need to make sure that they have complete vision control over their side of the map, especially when you go for this Roche play. So it's a good play just to at least pick it up. But yeah, I agree. You should put the gem back in the base after this, after you deward the map, and then wait for your Batrider to have force.
Both teams really on top of knowing that Roshan is up. Here come Alliance. Maybe they can take this fight. There's a DD on Loda as well. Oh gosh, he wants to find that Silver Edge target. Will they be too late? No, the Primal Strike comes on out and they can't be the stun. But Admiral Bulldog will be gripped, brought over to the sidelines. Will he get out? His creep T is stuck up there. It doesn't matter though. They've killed off the Earth Spirit. Roche goes down. It's snatched by Huskar. Radiant kill it. Huskar gets it. EGM trying to run away from FN's illusions. But look at Loda go! He 3-shots with the DD on to FN, and now Sioma has to use the false promise on himself, just buying some time. While the Huskar, he does have the Aegis, but he's going to be going down twice here. Isolated, the only one left around other than Osphere who's just trying to escape. So no one. He'll go for the life break onto Arc even. There it is. Shallow Grave, TP. Boulder kick on through, so at least they'll get the Arc kill. And no one still hasn't gone down yet. Spore TPing away. He's on fire. He'll go down. But it looks like Solo being chased. Mag is back here. Loda has no Silver Edge for 13 seconds, so should be the end of things.
As you say, should be. No, yeah, it should be.
What was that team fight?
That was a really good team fight, all things considered, for Vega. I thought they were just going to completely lose it. That was the luckiest thing I've ever seen in a long time, where he literally comes down from the sky, from the heavens, in the tornado, grabs the Aegis right in his arms as Roche dies. That was very lucky for Vega. They didn't just get completely team wiped and the Aegis stolen. So, like you said, Radiant did get the Roche kill, and that's going to help them out in the economy affair. And you're just still denying the Aegis for Vega, because the way Vega wins this is they get the Aegis and they try and force high ground with it, with the Huskar to have 2 lives. But Slark is now becoming a huge problem. Loda, he's got all the counters in place. He's also going to be scaling really well into the later game. And it just seems like S4 kind of has their number. He's just been playing incredibly in these team fights. He's been isolating people, and now he has a BKB. So him deciding to go for this Midas, it's 2 reasons why he goes in. He knows that this game is going to go later. And, well, actually there's 3 reasons, guys. I can't count. Second reason is you need the levels. Faster level 16 is just amazing for this Brewmaster split. It reduces the cooldown, duration increases to 20 seconds, and then last but not least, you're going to get additional farm, because this Brewmaster's not really a farming hero. He normally wants to farm heroes and go around the map. So it accelerated in that sense too.
Yeah, and it helps out as well, I think, just a little bit. Sometimes I like seeing the Midas on those heroes you said that don't farm as well, especially when they've got other greedy folks. Beastmaster, jungling, Loda obviously going to be taking a lot of those creeps too, since the slot clears it fast, so nice to be able to Midas something when for Alliance, they're still ahead. There's a tier 2 left in bottom, so that seems like it would be the next focus. Do you think that they need to wait for the next Roshan respawn to get some work done? I mean, there's the off chance Loda finds someone alone, but I imagine Vega, aware of this, will be playing very safe.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Vega to win a team fight now. Without having Aegis and with Alliance having S4 Panda Split, they also have the superior vision, as we talked about. They have the gem online for Beastmaster, the night vision coming in from Slark, and they have the BKBs. Like BKB on Slark here and S4.
Both of those are fresh,
That's,
right?
yeah, they haven't even used them, and that completely counters Huskar. I mean, most of the damage is coming from the Burning Spears, so I don't... Honestly, Alliance, they can go high ground if they wanted to in the next, you know, they can go now or the next 5 minutes if they really wish to, or just kind of starve the enemy team out. But they're really strong in the team fights right now.
No one has also picked up his own BKB. So that might be something to help them out there on Vega. And the Lions actually back out some. Loader's off hunting. He's not going to find anything, unfortunately. And Vega also spot these rotations with their wards. So good job on Vega getting these 2 wards out. And I believe they still retain the gem on the Batrider.
It's okay. One's about to get dewarded though.
Is it Slock's off doing his own?
Oh, Bulldog. Just
shy of the
yeah, he didn't have like a hawk or a boar up there scouting out. He just went down the river. But in this game, it can be scary to go high ground against the Batrider when you don't have the best tower sieging. Like the best they have is like Bulldog with his Necro books and his Inner Beast. Well, they might catch Bulldog here.
Yeah, this is a really aggressive smoke. Obviously, they've got full eyes on Bulldog. So that's the wrap, but the rest of Alliance is actually coming back onto him. Mag manages to get the last go there. But Bulldog should just fall quickly. And Alliance wanting nothing to do with this. We've already got some TPs away. EGM will just be able to get out there. So, a nice job by Vega there, delaying the push.
Exactly, and now they're gonna try and maybe force a buyback here. I don't think they can go high ground. They do have the BKB completed on no one. That's gonna help him a lot in these situations. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Like, they desperately need more farm on the Juggernaut. They need to wait out Roche in most cases. So I'm just trying to figure out how Vega are going to win these team fights. Right now, that's a nice pick-off and all, but that's not going to solve your problem of team fighting Alliance right now.
It does feel like I like what they've been doing, trying to find a smoke pick-off. They'll have the smoke back up again soon, but that'll be the last one for a really long time because they just used 2 others, and so the one that's coming off cooldown is the last for ages. I think that they maybe try not to take those engagements. Can they set up maybe some split pushing? Juggernaut does have blink. It could be very tricky around the map. Maybe Batrider going somewhere too. It feels like these head-on engagements, until there's a lot more farm on the Juggernaut and the Huskar, they're not going to work.
I think the best case scenario for Vega is maybe like Alliance. They get cocky and they try to go high ground, but they're not. Alliance aren't going to go high ground without having Aegis, I feel. They try and go high ground, and then all of a sudden, Vega, they lose 2 heroes, but then they buy back. And then they turn around on Alliance because they've overcommitted. That's like the only way I really see Alliance or Vega losing these team fights. They're just going to have to find ways, what they did, like isolating Bulldog. If they can find Bulldog first every single time and they don't have Shallow Grave to help him, I think Vega can win the team fights, but it's still going to be hard because they're always going to have the Panda and the Slark to work with in these team fights.
Yeah, I do also wonder if Alliance will give them another opportunity of folks being off alone. As I say that, S4 is totally on his lonesome down bottom. But of course, Vega not really popping around there, and S4 has some good coverage up here with that ward. We do see Loader hunting again. He's just going to fall. He has a BKB if he really needs it, and of course does have Shadowblade up in the back. The one just, you know, getting around from point A to point B a little faster. Oh, okay. These shenanigans. Loda pretended like he was backing on out, instead going to be returning in with the Shadowblade that's again on cooldown for a couple more seconds. Anticlimactic, neither of them finding anything. Oh, neither FN or Slock, both of whom were invisible. Bulldog almost has a refresher.
He's grossly fine.
Do you really think this is the way to go? Obviously, we talked about how his lane was unsustainable early on, but we've all seen the ridiculously fast farming jungle Beastmaster. Do you think it's just kind of almost better right now than going to lane and knowing that you will not get as much gold?
It's just this game, you can't go because of the Huskar burning spears. It completely kills the boards in like 3 seconds, kills Beastmaster in like 3 seconds too. So it's just a situation in this game. And for the refresher, it's standard. It gives you more mana regen in situation. You can refresh the Necro books, have a lot of plays. The only other option would be Vlad's really, but Vlad's was already completed over on S4. So his next item for Beastmaster is kind of puzzling to me. He might just go back for like an Axe or Shiva's or something because you still need to have the mana. Like he doesn't have enough mana to cast both Roars and Necro books, but it's still good to have. Like you can just reset.
Oh, yeah. I did not realize that he may have some mana problems with the refresher and Roars. Oh, actually, maybe we'll finally see something. Mag looking for Admiral Bulldog. They don't have S4 with them on Alliance, so not super interested in engaging, and it looks like Vega aren't either. Are you expecting the AC to be coming out of S4 then?
Yeah. AC S4. 100%.
Just slightly better itemization, do you think, than having it on... Break down the reasoning that you would prefer it on S4 than on Admiral Bulldog? Just because the Shivas actually has an active and S4 is going to be mostly in panda, baby panda form. What are they called? Ruling.
Baby pandas, I like them. Get the panda bears. But most of the reason and why is because like you could even go something really nifty, which is like Radiance, because you still will have it on the hero, and it also gives you evasion. But the best thing to have is still that, like you said, when you split, you still get the auras, and it's just going to help out a lot for the team fight and pushing. So you normally just go mass aura strats for pandas, or how you used to play it in the old days is you would go Ags and Manta style and Necro, and then you would have so much microing and so many things to do that it was pretty absurd to play this hero. But
I want to say that the Ags got buffed in a recent patch, but I could be on crack. It is early in the morning for us, folks. It's almost 2 a.m.
I mean, it did get some buffs, but I haven't played this hero in a while, and I'm not. That's why I'm not keen on the Ags update. I think it lasts longer than before, just by like 2 or 3 seconds.
I certainly don't think it's better or more reliable than having the AC for your team.
No, it's not more reliable. The only thing that it helps you more with is, say you're against like a Dusa or something, and you desperately need to have that evasion, always going out with the Drunken Haze. That's the point where you probably get like an Ags or something, where you need to Drunken Haze these carries so they actually can't hit you. But other than that, the extra spells coming in from Ags is not the best thing, or even the extra duration.
Well, Vega are actually posturing outside of their base, but never mind. These teams really have no interest in engaging without the Aegis. Obviously, we went over this, guys. Vega 2-3, and while Alliance is 3-2 in this best of one round robins group. So this game is incredibly important to both of them.
Yeah, I think the reason why Alliance didn't engage there is honestly because Loda does not have a buyback. If he had buyback in this situation, I think they would have maybe attempted that fight. It's going to be a lot of pussyfooting around Roche now. They're going to just be like, okay, well, let's just... Yeah, you see that they're pressuring top lane for Vega, but they're not even going because Alliance know how important this Roche is.
It's really difficult though. I feel like Alliance does have the superior pit fight. You've got some nice things like Magnetize you could drop, but Static Storm, Beastmaster's Primal. Oh, okay, here we go. BKB already showing off from S4. No one is trying to do something. He's going to be getting less deathness because of that false promise. The Primal Roar out onto him. RK the one taking that lasso back. And now Omni Slash flying around. Where will FN land? And will he be in a world of trouble when he gets on down? Mag on the other side of this team fight, still trying to poke around on all of those units. It's actually no one's dead yet on Vega. So we're just going to disengage.
What do you mean no one's back?
Indeed, he did go down. Sorry, he did the buyback.
Actually, I was trying. Oh, whatever. I was trying to do some wordplay. Never mind. Whatever. He actually did come back. The thing is, he bodies back. Now they have to get Roche. If they don't get Roche, they're gonna lose the game.
Yeah, you just actually screwed me on the wordplay. You can't do that at 2 a.m. So, yep, here goes the Roshan attempt, but Bulldog realizing that if they're going to take Roshan, he can probably take down a Rax with all of these auras.
Yeah,
and
this
look,
is Bulldog.
Dire structures are fortified.
is Roshan worth it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think Roshan is worth losing a Rax?
Yeah, 100%. Because now losing 2 Racks, maybe not, but you have to get this Aegis, you have to get this cheese. If no one dies again, it's just game. So this is a better play. But losing 2 Racks is actually not worth it at the end of things, and they're gonna get it to the non-fortify.
Which is especially scary because Vega, the Juggernaut, since he doesn't have that battle fury, they don't have ways of dealing with supers.
Just Alliance are understanding. The thing is, Vega is still on a timing window to end this game because of how well Slark is scaling into the later stages of the game. They have to take that Roche no matter what, because Alliance, they're just going to take it themselves or they're just going to fight there and just win the game. So this is like the chance now for Vega to win the game or just lose. Like they had like a 10% chance or like a 5% chance of winning with that buyback, but now they actually have like a decent chance, maybe like 15%. It's still, I'm being very generous here because I want to see a very close comeback, but Alliance, they just have so many buybacks to work with now, and I just don't see how they're going to kill Slark, but this is the all-in right now.
I don't disagree with Vega's reasoning. They can't handle the supers. They have to make something happen, and they
have
don't.
Satanic.
Yeah.
This will be very key, but they just got weaved, all of them.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, they did all get weak, but we gotta wait for Alliance to actually say that they want to go and take the fight. As you mentioned, no one. Okay, there's gonna not be the split yet. Finally coming out there from S4. Who is he gonna toss it up? They've already cut off the Earthsphere, and the Oracle gets blown up. Mag shot in there, and he just gets critic down. This is not looking good. No one's gonna go down once. Gonna go down twice. He doesn't have the BKB. The GGs are full. The all-in push doesn't work.
Yeah, this is a really bad play actually from from Vega at the end. Like they had waited 10 seconds. Well, actually, that's really good play coming from Alliance, but really, really bad play coming in from Vega there at the end. You can't wait 10 seconds or weave to stack up like that and not back out. You just back out for that duration and then you reset. Sure, Bulldog was going for the megas there, but at the same time, you're all in for Vega, and you can't team fight